That's where Twitter got the one. Is it 150 or 160 characters concept?
Yes.
That's where.
That was the concept. Yeah,
that's where they got the concept.
Like
whatever you have to say, you should be able to say with this 160. If Telegram it was shorter than that, then you should be able to say whatever.
I feel like I've been struggling on Twitter.
And you don't worry about the grammar.
Yes, yes, for sure.
Will it make sense?
Yeah. I think Twitter's been hard for me. Yeah. But anyway, the HR tells me you're offering your internship position at Cafe.
Yeah.
We want you to come in. So when are you free to start? Me this time comes that, the HR told me there's no salary, but you're going to be given a stipend.
Yeah.
And the stipend was 20K. 20,000 Kenya shillings.
Yes.
This time, I'm running my Gumbaru startup. I do not have money that is coming
from
that side. We call it Gumbaru. You're surviving. You have a vision that is going to work out for you, yeah? But then there's no money at that particular point in time. And now this woman is calling me to persuade me with 20K. Do I even have money? No.
That is a survival thing.
And then I'm like, you said 20K? It's like, yeah, but it will be taxed, so you'll be getting like 16. I'm like, okay, when am I starting? Like, when you're ready. So like, are you free like next week? I'm like, yeah. So you can start on Monday next week.
By all means.
I'm coming. So yeah, that's how I ended up in
without
the employment
knowing
world.
There's a guy who pitched this idea, which turns out to be Kiapi.
Of course.
But
I now later come to meet the CEO. Because when I joined as an intern, I was part of the retail team. It's like when you enter, and then there are sub departments.
Yeah.
So we were trying at that time. They were trying to push their savings product through MT, because I think when they started, it was like you'll open a wallet, save up for your healthcare, and then whenever you get sick. So the catch was, if you save up to a particular amount, you'll be given bonuses, because KP had partnered with some NGOs who bring in funds. And then so if you save like 100, they'll give you 50 bob. If you save, ideally to drive the saving culture towards healthcare. But then we realized that was not gonna work. To sustain KP as a company, as a startup, and I joined. But then I joined as an intern. I was working with the retail team, and I was working closely with the CFO, the CEO.
That is from Amsterdam or just Kenyan team?
So both my CEO and CFO were Dutch guys.
Okay.
So Kes and Martin.
Yeah.
But those are the guys also like shaped me for sure. I usually call them my big four. So that was Kes, Martin, Steve Miner. Steve Maina, wherever you are,
shout out.
We should catch up again.
For sure.
And then there was who else? And Barry. Barry Lejaware, something like that. Sorry if I killed your name, Barry. But Barry was the CTO. Proper guy. He's the guy who taught me like proper
coding skills.
Yes. Debugging Java, JVM, Spring Boot, 101 class. Barry was the guy. And I think when I joined, it was more like you go deep end in the ocean and then swim your way towards the shore. We'll catch up. That's how we used to learn. And for sure, that guy, I usually call Kiape. It was my first job, because 3 months in, I was confirmed as a full-time software engineer. And then I think like 6 months in, because again, I started being good. And also like with my skills from where I was coming in the past, growing in the career was quite easy for me. So intern, software engineer, I became a client engineer, which meant now I was trusted with Kiape's clients. But then it's more like a developer relations, but then you still code. So this opened up new markets for me, traveling into Amsterdam, traveling into Nigeria. I think I'm proud to say I built up KP in Nigeria when it actually started.
I remember those days when we could speak and you thought,
I'm not around.
I'm here with
I'm chilling with my other brothers. So I did stay in KP. Intentionally. For 3 years. And those 3 years were learning, networks, and learning. So I think also within the third year of my career, I also like started seeing, because I started off like mobile developer. I did backend, I did front end. I was full stack at some point. Kubernetes even came. I was like, I think the good thing now, this is now my SRE journey is coming into also. we're shifting from running our instances on an ECS machine.
Yeah.
We are moving them into Kubernetes.
Yeah.
I think of all the software development team, it was either me and Barry who knew Kubernetes.
Yeah.
Like we took the knowledge to go and learn it.
Yeah.
So guys used to come and consult me. And then I was like, by the way, instead of having to write Java every day, or rather just writing your solutions and then let Barry write your CI/CD pipelines and deploy that into an ECS cluster on Amazon. I can also, with that intrigue, how do you call it? Yo kutaka kujua. How do you say that in English? Curiosity, exactly. So out of curiosity, I was like, I want to know the code that I write, how does it end up in production? Now that started opening up things for me. CI/CD pipelines, how do you write them? We were building on top of Bitbucket.
And now you remember the Atlassian sessions.
And now Atlassian sessions come in.
Yeah.
And those times I used to get those cool swags, the t-shirts. So I'll go to the office and then I'm like,
I'm the coolest guy around.
CG, what? Even the CT was like, I like that t-shirt. I'm like, you see me? You feel me, bro? So there was that. So out of curiosity, I did choose that path.
Yeah.
So now DevOps interest.
Yeah.
And for sure, Barry was my sidekick because it was like, if you wanna learn it, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, if the other guys in the team don't want to learn, but you feel like you wanna learn it, you can as well do it.
Yeah.
So I now saw the full journey of building your, writing a feature. Let's say you're working on an API.
Yeah.
Packaging that into your CI/CD pipeline, running your tests, taking that into source control to scan quality checks using Sona or any other tool of your choice. Putting that into Docker as an image. Containerization was actually just coming up as a concept at that particular time.
Yeah.
So I did learn Docker.
Yeah.
I wrote my first CI/CD pipeline.
Yeah.
Actually modified the existing one because again, the good way to learn it is by breaking it. Yeah. As long as you don't break it in production, which is also fine because trust me, there's a rule. You'll have to break something in production.
Yeah.
We call it chaos engineering.
So and most of these concepts you grasp them through the community engagements.
Yes, community engagements, and then also that drive of having to learn something new. I did set out a focus for myself. Yes, I'm building features, but then I'm also going to create time for personal development to know what's happening outside there. How are these big companies doing it? And how can I also be part of a community where they show you how to do these things? And then for me, my knowledge was not just attending those events. It was more like after that, I want to come back and implement these things in CarePay, and also so that they see I'm adding value.
So it was more of day-to-day practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's how I went about it for sure.
Oh, nice. And then, Chief, that actually cleared a path to work for people like Bring, Global. How was that experience as a backend engineer?
Well, so when this time I'm leaving CarePay, I feel like I've grasped certain knowledge to move me because also like I'd worked into the healthcare industry for a while. So this is 3 years of CarePay. And remember I told you I was building my startup.
True.
Those also another 3 years of my startup also in healthcare. So I wanted to change industries. And at this point in time also, at CarePay, what was happening is I also decided to become, I told myself I want to become a specialist or rather an expert in one particular area because I was full stack. So I said I wanted to focus on backend and infrastructure. So building backend APIs and also putting that on cloud. Deploying that into a multi-cloud environment, all these kind of things. So that was now my focus. So I joined Bring. I come in as a senior backend engineer. Bring they were actually building financial systems. They had partnered with this organization called Backbase. I think that was the platform that most banks do. So they have already curated most of the solutions for banks. So if you're, I think banks are also moving into the digital era. So like from internet banking into mobile banking. So they already built out these components. So all you just need to do is sign a contract with them. And then now us, the developers at Bring,
so that is software as a service.
Yes, exactly. Now we will customize that software as a service to meet your size and taste for your applications.
And also it label,
and integrate it also with your legacy systems. Now to pull in the transactions and all that things. So my first client was Stanbic Bank of Ghana.
Oh, nice.
And I think 6 months down in, I was actually working with a guy called Gordon.
Mm.
Gordon, I know he had this really. Today, by them giving everybody their flowers for sure. Yeah. So me and Gordon did pull out that project.
Yeah. But this is not the Gordon from high school.
No. This is not Gordon. That was called Gondi. Stephen Gondi.
Yeah, okay, Stephen Gondi. Yeah. Now, actually, I've gotten the mathematician name. It's Samuel Wako.
Yes.
Very brilliant champ.
Yeah.
From Northeastern. You know Northeastern? You need to visit there, Kaka. I think the last time before Corona and everything, we were supposed to go to Lodwar. And by the way, one thing that I've not told people, once you realize the value of community, you also became one of the main speakers in these events, trying to nurture more
other people, yes.
Yeah, so anyone listening, don't just come to communities to take. Just also give once you have had enough.
Yeah, for sure. You have to give back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you started building Stanbic with the...
Yeah, we built Stanbic Bank of Ghana.
Yep.
6 months in.
Yeah.
The contract.
That is the digital side of things.
Yes. Now, at least Stanbic Bank. I know guys in Ghana are using their mobile app to transact. That was us. We're the ones who built the back end side of it.
Is he a Kenyan or Ghanaian?
Who?
The Stephen God.
No, Gordon. Gordon is Kenyan. Okay. I think I'm forgetting his other name. I'll find it. Yeah, but me and Gordon on the back end, and then there's some few guys who are building on the Android and iOS side of things.
Yeah.
But 6 months in, we got the product out. The client was happy.
Yeah.
Bring also like a consultancy company. Yeah. So once one project is off, they'll get you into another project.
Yeah.
At this point, I think the second project was an app for the Central Bank of Portugal. It's called CDG. Yes. So I did build up some of those components, but in total I did work in Bring, I think 2 years or 1.5, one of those. Yeah, and I also had to call it goodbye. That was financial sector. So from healthcare into financial sector. Yeah, and then after Bring, I did join the big company. Yeah. No, actually. Yes, I remember. So I also, from Bring, I did join a company in the US. It's called Wiseline.
Yeah.
Also a software technology consulting company. My first client with them was Factset in the UK.
Yeah.
I did help them I joined them as a senior site reliability engineer.
Yeah.
So at this point, remember I'm digressing from the software world.
Yeah.
Where I have actively built on the back end.
Yeah.
And now moving fully into infrastructure.
Yeah.
Monitoring, security, observability.
Yeah.
And automating how they actually build their tools on data. So Factset is actually one of the biggest data mining companies in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was part of a small team.
Yeah.
And ideally what our team used to do is that if you're a client, you'll go and request a particular data. Let's say you're a startup where you want some insights, yeah? You just go and tell Factset, hey, you want this data. They'll go and mine that data for you.
Yeah.
And then once they get the data, they will send a request to our team to provision the infrastructure that will hold that data, a database, the software, the service that was running to read that data from the DB. Yeah. And then they'll share the credentials with the customer. So that was the bit of work that my team was doing. Yeah. But when I joined, all these things were manual. Yeah. So it was a manual call, hey, create for us this Nini, put this data inside there. Once you're ready, share with us the DB URLs and everything, Yeah. So the value that I was coming to bring to Factset, for me, for sure, because I didn't stay for long, like 3 months, was automation. Yeah. So all I just needed to do was, build something simple out of it. So anytime they will make a new request, that request will come through the API that I built. This request will create, I had a script that I'd written, and this script will write Terraform code that now will provision the database itself. And once the DB was ready, we'll load data into it and it will give you back the URL, which will now give the customers. So it was like a direct integration. So once you get the data, just call our API, we'll give you the DB and everything, all set and done. Yeah. And for sure, I will tell you, those who want to seek to join employment for sure, in tech, or any place that you're going to work into, your employer wants value. Yes. The moment you start giving them value, you'll hear good deals coming to you. Yeah. So by the time in my 3 months in, the reason why I chose to leave at this particular point was they were using a different stack that was foreign to me. So they were using Python as their main stack. I was coming from the Java side of world. Yeah. But then again, it doesn't hurt to learn something new. But then was I ready to pick up Python at that particular point in time? Yeah. Yes, I was, but not fully.
Okay.
I didn't see it growing out of me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I decided to to pull the plug, now resigning. And at this point in time, my manager was in the UK. He calls me and tells me, Victor, we want to offer you a full-time opportunity at FactSet.
Yeah.
Yes, because of this value that you're giving us. Because before, this used to be manual calls. I don't know how you understand the impact of the value brought
For sure, for
to us.
automation, yeah.
This used to be manual calls that guys will call, and then we'll have to put guys to the night to provision this. But the fact that now people are we've automated this, it means that if a billion companies come, this request will be provisioned at the same time, and these guys will get their data through automation. Yeah. They're like, yeah, man, do you want to come to the UK and join us? At this point in time, journalism thing is backfiring. How it's backfiring is because in public universities, there are a lot of strikes that happen. Yeah. And in this time, I think there's one
lecturers
of those...
are not paid salaries.
Lecturers are not paid. But this one for ours, guys are not paid school fee. And the school
don't want to go.
And the school said, if you have not paid your fees by this particular date, you're not going to do your exams. And I was a victim. I didn't pay that by that day, but I think I paid on the weekend. So I expected that on Monday I'll do my examinations. But yeah, we were blocked from the gate. You're like, you're not going to do your exams. And what do you say to Kenyan students? So guys vandalized the school. It was proper.
Closed.
Vandalized.
Indefinitely.
Like it was closed indefinitely. We were actually suspended from school for an entire academic year. No special exams. Yes. Everybody who was sent, who didn't do the examinations, were suspended by the school indefinitely for one academic year.
Yeah.
But now this time I have to call myself again and do a retrospect. What am I going to do in this 1 year? Yes, I am at KAPE, I'm working as an intern, blah, blah.
I can't go to
this
UK.
is happening. UK is not even come up yet.
Okay.
So in this particular time now, I think over like few months I went and did an introspect and I got a course in USIU that a friend recommended me. So I did my undergrad in USIU. Yes.
Okay.
So in this time when I'm doing my undergrad, already I do not want to hear anything to do with relocation because my first degree backfired on me. There's no way I don't want anything to make me not to finish this one. So yeah, I didn't take the offer from FactSet. It was actually a good deal. I chose to stay to finish my course. And it was, again, purely all good vibes, all good reasons. And I don't regret the reason behind it. So yeah, months in, FactSet goes, I get another client. I interview with one of the big brands at the Walt Disney. And I think the same day I interviewed...
This was through an agency?
Through an agency, Wiseline, yes. And the same day I interviewed, I actually got accepted.
Oh, they said you are in?
Yeah.
Come and do this thing.
They were like, bro, enter.
Yeah.
Now, I'm joining Disney as I was part of the DMED team. It's called Digital Media Entertainment something. And this team, ideally, my team used to manage 5 Disney products. That was Hulu, HBO, Disney Plus, ESPN News, and the one. I said Hulu.
Yeah, you said Hulu.
And HBO.
Yeah.
So
all those are owned by Disney?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Walt Disney is like an alphabet.
Okay.
For Google.
So it's one of the fun guys.
And then now it's also beneath the other company that were bought by the Walt Disney is now HBO, Fox, all these things. Actually, most American company entertainment are owned by the Walt Disney.
Yeah.
One is Banonea or something. Yeah, so I got into Disney.
Yeah.
I joined them as a senior site reliability engineer.
Yeah.
But then the scope of work, apart from having to build and have to stress about observability, chaos engineering, which is a new concept that is coming to me because now you can imagine you streaming on these platforms. And one thing that we do not want you as a customer to experience is latency blamed on the company. Availability of what you're watching, missing out, all those things. It's crazy, so man. My team has to handle all that. And I also have to be a visionary for my team to guide them through that. And I will tell you for sure that's when I got introduced to management for sure, because my role was 50% management, 50%
engineering,
being an individual contributor. And at this point in time, I am working in a team of 20 SRE engineers who report directly to me.
Yes.
And part of these 20 people, these people are as old as my dad. So these guys have been in the industry for a while.
So you're not telling them anything?
Well,
actually, you're the guy.
One thing I can tell you for sure, at least, me working with them, I think also again, growing up and my background did put me out for respect.
Yes.
So again, work is work.
How was that like?
Work is work for sure, I will tell you. Being a manager, when it comes to work is work. We need to work together and deliver.
Yeah.
I can carry the weight for the team. But then if I don't find you productive for the team, I have to call you out for it. And if you're not gonna work, we need to dispose you and get someone who's gonna do it.
Okay.
So there's that bit of now coming from being an IC
True.
and now getting into management.
Yeah.
But then we'll get into that. So I joined Disney, those 5 products. My KPI was actually to get Hulu in Africa.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to set it out in South Africa. I think they must have launched by now. But during that time, it was, again, deploying things, production, crashing our servers. We'll actually write code to go and destroy our servers as they run.
Were they set out like test or?
No, this is actually people. This is now what you call chaos engineering by itself, Because with chaos engineering, what you're trying to achieve, the main goal is trying to test your system for availability and resiliency. And so that if by any chance someone attacks your server, you know what to do.
Yes.
Yeah? Because when you attack your server, the users who are streaming from that server are blocked out. Things to do with availability zone. How does this, if Mike is in Kenya and is streaming this content
from South Africa,
from your TV, when it's actually connecting to those servers where you're streaming from, you will actually find it's talking to about 70 servers at the same time. That's just to block you from not experiencing resiliency and anything, all those latencies and all these things. So we'll actually build solutions to destroy our servers and just test and see how ready are we as Disney for HBO if someone attacks our instances or something. So that was interesting for a while. I loved working in that company. It was amazing. I did burn out for sure because I was working at different times.
I remember those days.
Yes, I used to work in Nairobi. My team were based in the US.
So from 5 p.m.
I will stretch up to 3 a.m. in the morning. Of which even at times I will sleep. And I wake up at 6 a.m. to go to the gym and someone is spamming my inbox. Either on Slacks or email. I have to go and report and say what happened while you are away. Because this happened.
It was crazy.
This service is not available. And I have to go and write, what's that thing called again? If something goes wrong, you have to go and write that report. I'm forgetting the name. Basically, it explains the incident, what happened, what did you guys do, walk us through every minute. At this point in time, developer A was on call, he did XYZ, developer B came and spoiled it, but then I came up at 6 a.m. to come and fix it. So there was a lot of that, bureaucracy and all these things for big companies. But for me, it was a learning lesson. I did enjoy my time there. The experience was amazing. And again, time comes, you have to call out the company and say bye. And that's where I am right now. After that, I think 2 months in, I joined MasterCard.
Nice.
So at
that is MasterCard Nairobi?
Yes, I joined them through MasterCard Labs in Kenya.
Oh, very nice.
So
still doing SRE there?
No. So MasterCard, I came back. So I still do it as part of the full end solution. But nowadays, software engineer, your expectations is also getting bigger.
True.
Because the higher you grow, the higher the requirements, and people want to get.
So you're tech lead in that.
So there's that, and the factor that when you're building the product, you have to go with it till the end, deploying, monitoring, all this kind of stuff. So in labs, we're actually building some cool stuff inside the MasterCard ecosystem. I cannot talk about them because again, it's all a part of an NDA. But that's where I actually spend most of my time today.
Very nice. That's cool, man. Later on, earlier on, I was talking to someone and telling them, if I walk to any tech company in Kenya that are set up, 70% of the engineers, or maybe more, I don't know, they're part of the community,
For sure.
they have been part of the community, and
before,
it's really something that I'm proud of to say that really, if you really set out to build something, it works.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And this is just to encourage any African engineers or African visionaries, whatever you are. It requires those small act of service that brings us to where we are. And Victor Abedi is an evidence of that. And then what you have talked about is in the span of 7 to 8 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so imagine what we can achieve in 20 years.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot.
If we set out.
But
yeah. And thank you so much, Victor, for making time for this. I'm sure our listeners, and I can see some interesting names here. Big up to Naamini Onazi from Tanzania. He's a full stack engineer at Vodafone Tanzania. He's logged in. I can see Sylvia Jebet, our DevRel at Africa Stalking. I see Jose. He's by the way, DevOps engineer at what was that car name?
Tesla?
EV. No. It's a EV
company. I
see. I can't recall the name. But he's also a DevOps engineer at EV. There's a Digital T, there's Ronnie, there's R2, there's Dan to keep something. There's Peter. There's Abedi himself. You're just logged in.
Oh yeah. Again, I'm here to take up questions. So guys,
there's Geoffrey.
Yeah.
There's Muindi. And anyone who has logged in, we appreciate you. We celebrate you, and feel free to come in and ask questions, contribute, become the co-hosts. It's allowed. We can hear you, by the way. With our rig where we are, we can hear you. Can answer your questions. So anytime you log in, please contribute. But until next time, maybe we should hear a parting shot from Victor Abedi.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anybody who's trying to get yourself into this software space, it is a beautiful place to be in. All I can just say, just put yourself open to learning.
Yeah.
Again, any good employer wants a good employee who adds value.
Yeah.
Not to come and collect salary.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time. I know there are guys in the ecosystem who are big names.
Yeah.
You probably heard of them.
Yeah.
But then don't use that as a drive to be where you want to be.
Yeah.
Rather use that as a challenging factor to set yourself up to where you want to be. And just take your time to add value.
Yes.
I think my parting shot here is add value to your employer, add value in whatever you do. And use these tools to actually, solve problems. And things are going to work out for you. So from me here in Kigali, this was actually beautiful, by the way. And thank you so much, guys, for hosting me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
No worries, man. This is just a start. There's so much actually we can talk. We can even dig deep to DevOps and what it means.
For sure. Yeah.
Chaos engineering introduced by one and only Netflix. But if you're an engineer out there, check out Netflix engineering blog.
Yes, they actually have a YouTube. They have a YouTube.
No, they have a YouTube?
Yeah, for the engineering team. So if you don't like reading, log into their YouTube. They have some cool stuff.
Do they have this engineer so-and-so from Pune? So I want to quote one African proverb. And it goes by the way, I borrowed this idea from Spice FM.
Spice. Those two guys. The three guys are the core.
Big up to those guys. By the way, if radio was like that, I would go back to listening radio because they really give some soberness in radio and things that actually educate you. Big ups to the Spice FM in the morning every day. By the way, check them out. I'm not like advertising them, but I find they're really addressing some cool stuff.
Show for sure.
There's Ndu there. There's I don't know who else.
I know there's a Nigerian woman who lives in Kenya.
It's one I think who's named Ndu.
And then there's that old guy. I'm forgetting his name.
Now that I'm looking for it, I've forgotten. But big ups to the Spice FM morning show. You're doing an amazing job. So our parting shot proverb is: smooth seas do not make skillful sailors.
Smooth what?
Smooth seas do not make skillful sailors.
Care to explain that?
This means, in other words, we learn and grow when times are tough through adversity. And by the way, there is no story that actually exemplifies that than yours.
Yes.
And the lessons learned can be applied to make things smoother and easier the next go around. If you never experience opposition, how can you begin to understand what works and what doesn't? There are teachable moments, embrace them as such, learn from them, and move on. Actually, there is no truer proverb that can speak to most software engineers in the world, beyond Africa, more than this proverb.
Quote.
I don't know where it comes from. I think Spice FM says which country, but of course we'll get there. I just wanted to share that with you. And without further ado, my name is Michael Kemari, your host from Africa's Talking Podcast Retold, Impact Masters Podcast, telling the stories as they are across Africa. We're telling it raw. And until next time, subscribe, like, share, and comment. We'll be hosting more movers and shakers in tech across Africa. It's just a start. Bye. Thank you so much.